Alright, so if you guys have been listening to a lot of the new rap music that's out there on Apple Music and Spotify, you have probably heard a really dark and gritty type of sound. And this dark sound has really become super popular across different type of artists as well. You have a lot of influences from people like Metro Boomin, 21 Savage, and Travis Scott that really enhances this dark sound. So in today's video, I'm literally going to show you guys all the secrets and tricks you need to know to recreate this dark sound you hear from all the most popular music out there. So let's not waste any more time, let's just get straight to it. Alright, so we are now here in FL Studio 21, as you guys can see. First things first, we're actually just gonna bump the BPM up to about 143. You can pretty much go for something in between 120 and 160, but for this specific vibe we're going for in this video, I really want to focus around the 140 range. So 143 should pretty much be perfect. Now, as for the sound I'm gonna be using, I'm just gonna go over to my Imperial one-shot kit, and I'm literally just gonna go over to the synths, and I'm just using this muddy synth over here. So I have it opened up over here, but I want to do some slight changes. So the first thing we're gonna do is actually just reverse it over here, but as you guys can see, there is a lot of dead space in the start over here before the actual sound even starts. So the best way to actually reduce this is just by going over to this length knob over here, and we can pretty much just shorten it almost all the way over here. That right there is everything we need to do with the sound. Now, as for the scale we're going to be working in, it's actually just going to be B minor. So when it comes to making these dark type of samples, they are actually super simple to make, and you seriously don't want to overcomplicate them. The secret really comes down to how you actually make tension inside of the sample, and in my opinion, the best way to actually do this is just by focusing on the notes that are right next to each other inside of the scale. So since we are working in B minor, we're strictly just going to start off with a B minor chord, super short and simple like this, and then seriously start focusing on these notes right here that are right next to each other. If you just use one note right after another, it's seriously going to create a lot of tension in the sample. So in this case, to create that tension, we're just going to copy this over, and then we want to go from one half step to the other one. So you can see it goes from the F sharp to the G right next to each other. The same with this D, we can literally just pitch it down by one semitone, so it goes from the D to the C sharp. Now let's try to create some more tension for the sample. So we're just going to copy this over again, but this time we want to switch it up a little bit, so we can pitch this one up again, so it goes from the C sharp to the D. Again, really creating that tension we want in the sample, but this time we can actually invert it by pitching it up one octave, and you can always add some filler notes here and there if you really want to. For the last part, we're literally just going to copy this chord over, but I'm going to pitch this down by one semitone, so we have that tension going once again. We can literally just copy this over for the whole pattern. So as you guys can see, the sample actually sounds super simple, but it still has that tension and it's starting to create that dark vibe. One more super important thing when it comes to these dark samples, like I said, you don't want to overcomplicate them, so make the pattern super repetitive. Just like I did here, I literally just copied the first two bars over the whole sample over here as well. So it's going to be a little bit repetitive, but it's actually also a little bit of the point because it's going to make it a little bit more catchy. But the sounds still sound a little bit dry, so we for sure need to add some effects to this because it's really going to enhance the sound. So I'm just going to start off by putting on a kickstart 2. It's just going to give us this pulsing type of sound, as you can hear. Next is just a simple reverb. Nothing really special going on here, to be honest. Turning down the decay a little bit though. Next, I'm just adding a sketch cassette 2. Just standard settings. It's just going to give it some more grittiness. Next, I'm just using a RC20 as well. Some more vintage type of sound. Just the standard sad piano preset. Now, one of the last things I'm going to add is just going to be this effect track over here. Now, this preset is seriously the sauce right here. So I'm just using this crystal choir preset over here. It almost gives the original sound a pad in the background. Just take a listen to how it sounds. So you can hear the atmosphere in the background. Super saucy right there. And lastly, just the slow cut EQ to cut out the low end of the sample. So the next sound we're going to be using is going to be this choir essentials from Contact. I seriously haven't used this bank in ages, but some sort of choir sounds are silently becoming super popular in this trap music. But to be honest, some sort of choir sounds are becoming super popular in this dark type of sound. I have been hearing a lot of choirs from Metro Boomin recently, so it got me super inspired to add some choirs in my own beats as well. Now I'm quickly just going to record in a pattern. So it's pretty repetitive all the way through. I just did a slight change over here at the end. Just adding a little bit of reverb to the choirs. Just using this spacious vocal preset. Just adding a little bit of EQ as well. Just removing some of the harsh sounds from the choirs. Now let's also add a little bit of a bass to this. So again, I'm just going over to my Imperial one-shot kit and I'm just using this stash bass as always. Just adding some cool slides so it's not too basic. Now I just added a quick little halftime to the whole sample as well. I think we can pretty much change in between the halftime and the no halftime for the verse. Alright, so when the choir is not playing, I think we also can add a different type of counter melody. So I've just went into the strip back in Arcade. And by the way, if you guys want to try out Arcade for free, you can get 1 month completely free by using my link down below. But I'm literally just playing this C5 note over and over again. And it really kind of switches up the sample a little bit when the choir is not playing. So it's just some keys in the background. Really simple. Just adding a little bit of roam to those keys. And some EQ as well. That's pretty much the whole sample right there. I just added this monster texture from the map over here as well. So that right there is pretty much the sample. Now let's get on to the drums. As for all the drum sounds I'm using, they are of course coming from my Euphoria bundle kit. If you guys haven't checked out the kit already, the kit literally has everything you need to make some crazy beats. I'm talking about drum sounds, samples, midis, and everything. So if you guys like the sounds you hear, the pack is obviously on my website. It's BBMarko.com, or you can just check out the first link down below. Yeah, this clap and snare fits super nicely with these dark vibes. As for the hi-hat pattern, I'm just gonna pick a MIDI from the pack as well. Yeah, I think this one is hard. You really just want a two-step with some rolls here and there for these beats. Yeah, this is fire, bro. Quick little open hat. Some snares as well. Yeah, this is fire. Ooh, we can do like a crazy snare roll at the end over here. I'm just gonna play a little bit around with the velocity for the snare roll. I think this can sound fire. Let's take a listen. I think it's time we add the 808. I seriously can't be bothered to make a whole 808 pattern. So again, I'm just going to go to the midis from my pack. Yeah, this right here is kind of fire. Woo. And with the snare roll as well. Crazy. Yeah, we need to add a kick to this though. Yeah. This is fire, bro. Oof. It's ending right here. Yeah, this is super fire. The drums hit super hard as well. So I'm quickly just gonna arrange the whole thing and then I'll show you guys the final beat. So this right here is the finished arrangement. Right, so I added some cool effects in the intro as well. We have these crowd sounds. Super dope.
Shut up, Marko. Marko.
And it drops in. Yeah, the drums go super hard on this one. Melody switches. Then we go into the verse. A little bit of a slower part. We bring that halftime in again. Up the whole mood. Back to the intro. Then it pretty much just drops back to the hook.